Giant Bomb broke some hot news over the weekend. Jeff, do you want to set this up for the folks at home?
Breaking.
You broke this on Saturday. Some interesting information came to light about Gears of War 3.
I spent most of my Saturday hanging out in a dark room.
Nice.
And I looked over at my computer, and it showed that Ice-T was broadcasting on Ustream. And I thought, well, that can only be good things. So he was just doing an hour since he's nearing 45,000 followers on Twitter. He's like, let's do this final level Twitter gang, moving. So he turned on his webcam, and
I think that was the thing is he was saying like all the week leading up to that on Twitter that like, hey, if I get to
and he did not make 45,000. That's the kind of sad part about it is that it was supposed to be a milestone thing. He was like, oh, whatever, I'll do it anyway.
What are the criteria for admission to the final level?
You just got to follow final level.
Yeah?
If you follow, guess what? You're in it.
You're in.
You don't have to get jumped in or anything?
That is getting jumped in.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, I could jump you in if you want.
That's next millennium jump in.
Would you?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So he did an hour on Ustream, kind of just taking questions from a chat room. So a couple hundred people watching. And someone asked pretty early on, like, you know, what are you doing, like, with movies, music, like, what's coming from Ice-T? And he said, oh, you know, I'm doing all this different stuff. And then he kind of paused for a second and said, playing a character in Gears of War 3. And hesitated again and said, I didn't just say that.
Now, there's a further development on this story, I understand.
Well, the further development is that I totally blew up his spot and wrote a story at that point saying Ice-T says he's in Gears of War 3. By this point, I guess, like even before that story, I guess our boards were lighting up at the notion of Ice-T broadcasting. So a lot of the people that are probably regulars on some of our Ustream
I've caught that already.
Got in there in his chat room and were asking if he had prestiged yet, and you know, like it became
all game centric,
fairly
at that point.
Game focused at one point. It would kind of come in waves, and he talked about how he was playing Red Dead and really liked it and that sort of stuff. And then at some point, people just started typing Giant Bomb and our names over and over again. So actually, we have audio of Ice-T talking about Giant Bomb, and says, "Yeah, peace to Ryan Davis and Jeff." And then he could not figure out my last name, I assume. Which I started feeling bad at a point because it's like, these people are just like typing nonsense. And Ice-T's just reading going like, fucking internet, what the fuck are these people even talking about? Just like rattling off bullshit. Like, they just want me to say things. Like, I got things to say, but not these things.
I'm not just your puppet.
You know, ask me about, you know, then people were asking him like, oh, you've ever been to jail?
Ask me about hand
grenades.
Like,
yeah, I've been incarcerated, but I'm not going to talk about that because I don't glorify. You know, it's just like,
weird.
A lot of really weird.
And it's great. You have Jeff. You wrote up a story. This is up on the site, and you have a little screen cap from the event, and it's just Ice-T in a dark room.
Yeah,
like face illuminated
by the monitor,
wearing big ass lokes.
And someone asked him why he was wearing the sunglasses. He said, "Because I think it looks cool."
I like that he's straight up about that. And then didn't Cliff Bleszinski then like
so Monday on Twitter as well, Epic's Cliff Bleszinski wrote to Final Level and said, "Hey Ice, why don't you get a hold of me so we can talk about what happened this weekend?"
On Twitter, really?
Yeah.
So that either means that he wasn't signed up already and now he will be,
well, I guess,
or it was legit.
So on top of this, like I guess like there was a Jace Hall show. That Jace Hall dude
Does that still exist?
I don't know.
I didn't think it did.
I don't.
Sure.
This is old though. This isn't recent. This is old something. He was interviewing Ice-T and Coco from their house or something.
Okay, now I remember that.
There was the instance where like he called Cliff and had his cell number totally visible on the video and then didn't blur it out or anything.
Yeah.
And then they talked on the phone. I guess Ice at one point said, you know, hey, put me in your game. He said, oh, you know, if there was a Gears of War 3, maybe we could do something like that. So it sounds like that's where the initial idea maybe was seeded. But then he basically copped to it on this live stream. And now Ice-T's going to France for a week, where he said he's not going to be posting on Twitter.
Oh. Well, that's I feel like that is a great like voice to universe fit. I want to see whoever Ice-T's character is interacting with Coltrane. Clearly, that has to happen.
Only if his reaction to Coltrane is like, "Shut the fuck up! What the hell's wrong with you?" Damn.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's exactly what I would imagine.
Yeah.
But Always good to see. I always welcome any Ice-T news that the world presents to me.
Absolutely. That's and it's just the whole thing was just a very surreal, like one of those moments of just like, what the fuck is the world is so weird now.
It's good to have those.
I don't know if people much younger than us realize that
how weird it is.
Fucking weird the internet, like how weird all this shit is now.
No, the internet has made everything super weird.
Just that Ice-T is doing this to begin with. Just that Twitter exists so that you may directly commune with Ice-T.
Yeah.
It's fucking nuts.
It's a brave new world.